All right, yet another video in the saga of this 6AQ5 transmitter from AWA. I ended up going back to the variable caps on the Pi network. I took out the fixed caps. And a lot of this was, I got some advice and then also just kind of through experimenting. And what I had discovered is that the plate side of this, the Pi network, the plate capacitor, the tuning is really sharp. And so getting a fixed cap that it's going to work right is going to be a pain. And then I'm sure also, well, through experimenting, it is a little frequency dependent too. So being able to, depending on where I am, fine tune this thing is important. The other side of it is the load capacitor for the antenna side. I'll show you what I discovered here. I'm sure others know this, but I learned it. So we have into a dummy load, 8.88 watts roughly. Okay, so if I go out to my actual antenna, see how it drops to 6.9? So let's take a bunch of capacity out of it and see how that went up. So what I'm going to do now, because I know that the plate side, or sorry, the loading side capacitor, the voltage present on it is lower, and so I think I'm going to get a I don't know, either a single or a dual gang 365 puff cap for the loading side, which will give me a lot more range, and then I don't have to do this thing where I go and add a fixed cap. In general, add a fixed cap to try to bump up the offset of where this starts tuning from. So I think that the plate side is probably completely fine. It's about half meshed, which is really just about right for how I want to do this thing. So new discoveries. The other thing is I did make a first pass of a little laser cut housing for this. But it's all going to change, because what I'm going to do now is, now that I have to integrate these two guys in here, I'm probably going to make this a more robust thing. I'll have a front panel on it. I'll have a plate and a load side, tuning knobs on the front. I'm considering actually just putting an ammeter in here. It would be very similar to some of the other vintage equipment. I have an old Heathkit AT1 that does that. Then I can tune for the dip. Now, as far as the tuning procedure for bringing this up, I just looked at what was recommended on a similar era transmitter that has a Pi network out, and so I looked at the Amico AC1. It has a very classic Pi network on its output, and I just kind of followed their tuning procedures, which generally speaking, they have you run fully meshed on these things, and then it's kind of a, key down, tune this guy until you get max brightness, then go over to this guy, tune it, then come back. You kind of do this back and forth business until you get it just right. But I think for max efficiency and not damaging things, it's probably the way to go. Anyhow, I'll keep everyone posted here as I continue to refine this, but this is just the process of experimenting. I'm trying to really understand this and what makes it tick. So until next time, this is KC7 WXT.